Practice, tell you what I liked about it, is this was probably the first practice of the 12 that we've had where I felt like there was a lull. I felt like every practice has been really consistent in terms of intensity and energy, and I felt like there was a lull. And what impressed me was when I pointed it out to them, they picked it up. They fixed the problem without me having to go crazy on them. And to me, that's a sign of maturity, and it's a sign of focus and mental toughness, and those are the things that we're looking for. And the great teams that I've been fortunate to be around have had that internal mechanism where players take it upon themselves to make it right when it's wrong, and they did that. And so even though you never like to have a lull, sometimes the byproduct is you see your team take over, and I thought that's what we saw tonight. It was a fantastic practice. So,
is that leadership taking over, or some specific guys, or team-wide?
I think it's maturity. I think it's certain individuals deciding that it's not right and making it right. Guys like Jake Brendel and Kenny Young and Kenny Clark and Fabian and Randall. I think it's experience in our system and understanding what it's supposed to be like. And then I think it's just a drive to be great. And human nature is every once in a while you have a letdown, but if you let it linger, you get in problems. It was 3 minutes, and then it was over, and we were going, and it ended up being a fantastic practice. So, to me, those are positive signs. Even when something like that happens, if it turns out the way you want it, it's a real positive.
What made it so fantastic?
The energy, the competition. When we did the third down period and when we did the red zone, it was competitive as all get out. And the energy and the emotion and the passion and the physicality that they played with without taking each other to the ground and rolling up on each other. It just, to me, it was a sign of a mature team that is very focused. So if we can keep practicing that way with that energy, then we're going to be a really good team.
Usually at this point, the defense is kind of ahead, but they still seem like they're ahead, and you've got a pretty experienced offensive line.
Yeah.
Is that a sign that the defense is that good?
I hope so.
Yeah.
They, 2 Saturdays ago, we had that 90 plays live. The defense got dragged around the field pretty good. They did. And really since that day, I've seen a change in just the way they're playing. And I think a lot of it has to do with them understanding exactly what the expectations are in each defense. We have introduced a lot of new things. We've kept a lot of the base structure of the defense, but we've introduced a lot of new things. And I think they're understanding it. I think they're confident in it. When you understand it and you're confident, you can play fast and you can let loose. And I think we're seeing that. But, Saturday, I thought they looked pretty darn dominant. Today, I thought they looked pretty darn dominant. And that's against a really good, like you said, good offense and a good offensive line. So I just like the competition. We went to do the third down period, and we had 10 plays. The offense won 6, the defense won 4. So I was proud of the offense for winning 60%. And it's just great competitive practices. It's fun. It's fun to watch. It's fun to be a part of.
It seemed like Fuller was working out at outside receiver today. Is that a switch, or is that just adding his versatility?
It's adding. It could become a switch, but he goes back inside some. Mossy has developed so much. Darren Andrews has done nice. He went out and looked good today. Devin can do some things outside. So I don't know that it'll ever just be permanent and that's all he'll do, but he will work out there some. Aaron Sharp is making huge strides inside. It's a good group of receivers. And Alex Van Dyke has been out for a couple of days. You get him back, and it's a pretty darn good looking group.
With Soso's arrest this weekend, do you anticipate that impacting his ability to join the program this summer?
At this time, I can't expand further on the comment that we already made. It just wouldn't be fair for me to do so. I don't know enough. So.
How does this spring compare to the 3 previous springs?
It's different, man. It's just the energy's different. I feel like they know what the expectations are, and they're trying to live up to them at every moment. Like I said, until today, we really hadn't even had a lull in any practice. They're pushing each other. One thing that I noticed is there's very few players on the ground, yet we practice really fast. So to me, that's a sign of athleticism and a sign of understand how to play physical, practice fast, and yet take care of each other. It just feels it feels more professional to me. You know, it feels more like I've always been used to my whole life, the way NFL teams practice. That's what it feels like to me. I'm not saying we're an NFL team by any stretch of the imagination. The way we practice feels professional to me. I think it's fantastic. I love the way we practice all spring.
Is this a matter of your program hitting stride?
I don't know. I hate to say that. I hate to say we've ever made it or hitting stride.
No, you never want to say you made it, but
understanding the expectations, understanding the
you want
standard,
them to do.
understanding how we're going to do things. You know, the guys that are in this program now have been. This is our fourth spring together. You know, the guys that were here when I got Jake, and there's a handful left. You know, and the rest were kind of grew up in this system. So I just think it's been really good, really productive, extremely productive. I know I'm sounding going a little overboard, but it's been good.
How's Matt Dickerson doing?
You know, he and Jacob have made big strides. Physically, you know, the way they play the game, their strength. I think we're developing depth there because that's a concern. You know, it's a real concern. Tack has done a nice job. Ainu's done a nice job. Carl Hewlett's done a nice job. The guy that's been a surprise in a good way is Najee playing there. He still has to learn how to play with lower pad level. Sometimes you'll see the offensive line in him. He'll almost pass set a little bit instead of attacking with his pads down. But he is violent, and when he gets his pads down and he uses his hand, he's got the tools to be a good defensive lineman.
Do you see a pecking order at all emerging among the quarterbacks yet?
No.
Are we going to get that answer until Virginia?
He's fine.
Gotta ask.
He's fine. He's fine.
He's fine.
Do you want to keep giving Miles practice reps at kick return?
I didn't know he was doing that. Nah, if he's doing that, he's just messing around.
Okay.
Because Miles has to be moving out here. So if there's a drill he's not involved in, he just goes and gets involved with it. I didn't even know he was taking reps back there. He's not on the depth as a kicker. That's just him. He loves to practice, you know. That's what he is. He's practice.
Wait, you got a depth chart?
No, not. Did I say that?
Yes, you did. Let's play the tape.
So.
All right, thanks, guys.
Thanks.
Coach.
All right.